Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of the Reich, Defender of the Fatherland, here to deliver on to your ears in the glorious Propagandacast. We shall be watching MWNiksa fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division, fighting opposing. Against him shall be WohTiger fighting for the Americans, taking on the fight for the 5th Armoured, and it shall be on Sturzdorf, yes indeed, Sturzdorf, somewhere positioned on the German-French border, since obviously Dorf is German for village, so it can't really be in France. Anyways, we shall be watching Niksa actually playing out with a 3 Pioneer start. This is pretty regular, definitely not your sort of typical Wehrmacht start. Opposing him shall be WohTiger with, on the other hand, with a standard start, which can in fact prove to be rather detrimental to Niksa, because the thing is, of course, with a 3 Pioneer start is it will be delaying your Volksgrenadiers, that is your infantry, in comparison to your opponent, who will have infantry out much quicker and can in fact cause quite some problem for your Pioneers. So Niksa will be very much dependent on a much broader frontage, trying to seize as much territory that way, ensuring that Niksa, and hoping that Tiger doesn't run in and cause some problems there. But at the same time, of course, he will be a bit weaker in the beginning. He won't be able to quite muster the same combat power against WohTiger. And of course, the question is how that will actually work out for Niksa, and for that matter, for WohTiger. We are seeing a wide frontage again. We're seeing munitions falling into the hands, fuel falling into the hands. I mean, initially, he will be gaining a slight advantage over Tiger in terms of resource advance. Imagine what he's counting on. Question is, what will he be using this resource advantage on, and will he be able to leverage it properly? We are seeing the Volksgrenadiers moving out. Pioneers immediately coming under fire, and there we go. Of course, the initial engagement, the first one, although we do now see Volksgrenadiers out there, so slight chance here for Niksa to sort of limit things in terms of damage from Tiger. Volksgrenadiers and mountain riflemen pulling back towards heavy cover. Pioneers could, in fact, setting down sandbags to the German infantry to use. That's a good move, but already now a second squad of riflemen is out with Deuce and MG42 on the way for Niksa to help sort of things out. Territory being captured there. Pioneers moving over there, laying down barbed wire to protect this area, creating a bit of a funnel as well. More sandbags going down. He could consider some barbed wire up while he's at it. He could have also had the Volksgrenadiers that, because I mean currently we do have one unit for Niksa doing nothing when it could have been, for example, taking this territory. So I think that's a slight mistake there by Niksa. And we do now see the rifles shifting over in force towards the left hand side, which is considerably more weakened, and of course is quickly going to fold as the forces of WohTiger and the 5th Armoured advance arm in arm, apparently, since they're walking awfully close. But MG4 coming up might be taking up position here behind the head cover, which definitely will mean that thereafter will have absolutely no chance of clearing it out unless they manage to flank it. I mean, sometimes with an MG42 out in the open, you can clear it out, in particular if you have BARs. The MG42 cannot pin the troops fast enough. So that, of course, is something to be cautious of. And again, it's a slight mistake. You see some players do this, placing an MG42 out in the open, and sometimes they end up actually losing it to attackers. So slight little thing there to remember. But we do see a shift about here. We're seeing mines going down there. That is good. We also see a mine up here, but at the same time, this is more of a sort of obvious. He might as well have planted down a sign saying Achtung, Minen, filthy Americans, stuff like that. But there we go, quickly taking control of this. Volksgrenadiers actually moving away. No, they're moving up there. We're seeing a second squad moving up there. We're seeing another MG42 moving out from Niksa, so no snipers from, at least not for the time being. More riflemen arriving for WohTiger. We are looking currently at a 3 squad of riflemen from Tiger. And there we go, flamethrower engineers moving in. That is good, that is good. So they're definitely going to be throwing off Niksa's Pioneers immediately from the area, and they'll probably immediately set about, so if they can't harass that fuel pump. We do see Volksgrenadiers moving up. We do see an MG42 up here, but flank right here is a bit exposed. A nice rifle push right there could definitely cause a headache for Niksa and the 3rd Panzergrenadiers. The 3rd Panzergrenadier Division alongside the 15th have been pulled in from Italy, in fact, in preparation for the entire, Battle of the Bulge. Riflemen shifting about there. And now we see Niksa, in fact, abandoning this area, now moving in force towards the west, interestingly enough. Not entirely sure what is convincing him to do that. In particular, since that means he'll be losing control of the high fuel point right there. But it looks like he's hoping that WohTiger is not so strong in that way he can overwhelm him, which I suppose is alright, but at the same time, as we might be noticing here, there will be then an MG42 left on his own right there, which could get flanked, but it looks like he is shifting about, and now he's moving his entire force back again. Browning automatics pop up for WohTiger, increasing the firepower of his riflemen quite a bit offensively and defensively. Definitely a nasty upgrade, and resources continue to be taken away from Niksa, who of course also knows now that his opponent has gone for this. He of course then has the choice, will he go for this Krieg barracks, or will he go further, taking up and going for an armoured car to that way deal with WohTiger's infantry in a slightly more superior manner. And again, seeing the forces shift from here to here, bunker going up, MG42 setting up right there, rifleman sneaking about there. Will Niksa be aware? Of course he soon will. There we go. Fuel point getting attacked. Pioneers here coming under fire. We do see an MG42 actually quite nicely positioned here. It can cover this area nicely. And there we go. The rifleman will suffer the wrath of the MGs from Fisk. The other one remaining right here behind. Heavy cover. There we go. Another rifleman squad coming under fire. Quickly getting suppressed. Rifleman moving up there. Minesweepers up. Niksa very much concerned that WohTiger might have been laying down mines behind his own lines. That is actually a good thought, but at the same time, his Volksgun is rather moving away, taking heavy damage right here. Nicely done there by WohTiger, definitely catching Niksa by surprise. We do see the MG42 here not doing anything to support, still keeping this area under control. And once more, Niksa seems to be shifting a bit. And we see him in fact taking up, so he will be going for the Schwerter Panzerspähwagen, the heavy armoured cars. Trier-Sender, whoops, there, but Trier-Sender will be going up for WohTiger. My apologies right there. Sometimes keyboards really can be a bit annoying with the whole start hotkey or whatever. Start menu hotkey. Oh well. Fuel point there going to get taken. Rather than going for the high munitions, fuel point there falling. And now one Volksgun squad are going to deal with that, where two failed. Not entirely sure that is good sense from Niksa. We're seeing, there we go, might be seeing a medic bunker upgrade here. That was definitely above. But no, the Volksguns actually managed to get into the house, leaving the riflemen dispossessed outside of their own housing. If only they had some support. Trouble is, currently there's only one Volksgrenadier at a time who can be firing at the rifleman. That is currently Feldwebel Heinz, cursing at the fact that he's not been giving proper support. And a unit actually goes down. A pioneer squad sacrificed itself for the fatherland. Probably went off here by the Ignis with the flamethrower. Rifleman here getting suppressed. WohTiger is pushing up on several flanks. There we go. The medic bunker is up. Volksgun's moving in. Where is the other MG42? It's actually shifted down there. And there we go, flamethrower engineers flanking in. And now we see grenades up for WohTiger, definitely increasing the pressure towards Niksa. And definitely causing him quite a headache. Although certainly going to give him more time to sort of get advantage out of a Sturm armoured car rush, because that also means fuel will be spent towards that. Again, that's fuel that won't immediately go towards a motor pool or a tank depot and anything that could deal with an armoured car a bit more assuredly. So that is actually good news in a sense for Niksa, but at the same time, of course, can be bad if he does not fully exploit this in a proper manner. Otherwise, he could risk definitely taking heavy infantry losses. But Niksa having very much trouble right now, actually holding most of the map. WohTiger able to attack on several fronts, causing quite a bit of damage. And again, part problem is that Niksa can't quite seem to decide what he wants to hold. He was constantly rushing back and forth with his troops, constantly allowing also WohTiger to just then shift towards where Niksa wasn't, and again doing damage, taking territory, forcing Niksa to attack, and again taking losses on that. So, I mean, the problem is partly that Niksa needs to focus a bit more. He needs to decide where he wants to fight, what he wants to hold, and how he wants to hold it. Volksguns are getting blasted. MG42 up here protecting the high munitions, so clearly the high munitions are factoring in to Niksa's and the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division plans. We're seeing a rifle squad going to head up the flank there. Will the Volksguns be able to deal with it? And then we've got another Volksgrenadier bites the dust, rifle advancing up. Mine goes off somewhere. Grenade goes off against the Volksgunners. One squad gets caught out in the open by fire from the house. And the rifle right there, they need to retreat. Oh, down to one man. They do quickly out there. The other squad also taking heavy losses. But they hold the line as the MG42 sets up, buying the rest. more time. No, he's actually moving that again. They're heavily wounded. And again, note BARs exponentially increase the firepower of the Riflemen offensively and defensively. And just note quickly how quickly Niksa's units go down. He just needs to get them out of there. Down to one man. And oh, he lost an entire Volksgrenadier squad. And that was quite silly. They should just have pressed retreat right there. So definitely WohTiger doing a lot of damage to Niksa and the 3rd Panzergrenadiers. They've killed two Pioneer squads by now and a Volksgrenadier squad. Although, interesting enough, he seems to be not doing anything against the medics. Then again, that's because his troops seem to be pinned down. Rifle squad moving up there. One more wounded picked up, and we will see a Grenadier squad coming up. And the Rifle right there. Mine goes off, providing protection right there. Nicely mined. And then we got Grenadier squad pops up. Some more proper Panzergrenadiers. Trained in the School of Hard Knocks, whatever you call it. Or at least the battlefield. The hard way, the painful way, the way with shrapnel up your arse. On your arse cheeks, anyways. Kampfgruppe center going up for Niksa, that's definitely good. And oh my goodness, WohTiger is floating an absurd amount of resources. I wonder what he's planning with all that, but that's... Why? On earth would he be floating all that? I mean, he could be building a ton of observation posts on the fuel, on the munitions. He could train another Rifleman squad, so we had 4. And then there's a lot of opportunities. I'm quite stumped as to why he would be floating all that. Senseless, and would in fact mean that Niksa is getting a chance to get back on the field. Grenadiers are moving up. They're coming under fire from the Riflemen. Another armoured car out there. We do see the Kampfgruppe sent up, and no veterancy as of yet for Niksa's Truppen, by the looks of things. Grenadiers quickly getting into the house, but of course has to be careful. The Rifleman eye equipped with the Mark II fragmentation grenade, and there we go, going into the house. They do get out of it, and there we go. The Grenadiers quickly retreat, realizing they have lost this fight. Armoured car is swiftly getting repaired by any Pioneers that can be sent towards the task. Sweeping mines from WohTiger again. The upgrade is certainly paying off now, rather than risk his armoured car getting disabled or become an easy target for WohTiger. Note he's actually using the infantry doctrine's ability of defensive operations for the Riflemen to lay down sandbags. That's actually a pretty rare thing, but again, it's actually useful. And it's something I might recommend some infantry players trying to do more besides, just laying down mines. Again, the ability for infantry to lay down sandbags or barbed wire can actually be quite vital when it all of a sudden means you can place down heavy cover where there is otherwise only light. So, again, a good idea, but we do see some veterans coming up now for the armoured cars. None for the infantry. Yeah, that's definitely a mistake there for Niksa, I would say.
We're losing a strategic sector.
Going for the cut-off point, nicely done. Armoured cars engaging in patrol. Troops retreating. Niksa continuing to lay down an abundance of mines. Riflemen advancing up the centre, and Niksa has absolutely no defences there. In fact, he could cut Niksa's forcing half that, but there we go. Armoured cars stop one part of the larger assault, rather than the 2 Rifleman squads are forced to retreat in the face of this. And definitely what ought to be WohTiger's priority right now is stopping that. And we do see tank depot, tank destroyer on the way, but again still floating an awful lot of resources. I am not happy to see that from WohTiger. I'm in fact a bit disappointed.
We have a threat to our
MG42 shifts out. Right here, Commander 5 from the armoured cars. Going for the victory point over there. Lovely, lovely.
supply lines are broken. We have territory cut off from supply.
Volksgrenadiers moving up to assist. Although largely they can't do much. And we see infantry doctrines artillery getting called in. And that results in a large retreat right there from Niksa. And we do in fact see an observation post now. In fact, all the high munitions right there definitely going to give WohTiger an awful lot more. That's great for him. You could consider one there as well. But we do see the flamethrower engines advancing up. The armor cars continue to blast away at the building, unleashing auto cannon rounds into the interior. How long will the rifle be able to hold up these grenadiers? Again, Niksa needs veterans. He's facing an opponent with riflemen with BAR, so definitely getting slowly more and more veteran. I mean, he's definitely going to need veterans to really get the most out of it. And there we go. One rifle squad gets annihilated, but at the same time gets off a sticky bomb. We do see a Panzergrenadier up, so clearly Niksa was a bit worried we might be seeing something armoured, and definitely about time. And there we go, tanks are moving up, but we see one armoured car already disabled, an easy target for the Wolverine to tear apart, while the other one is forced to escape while it watches its comrade being slaughtered. So definitely a bit of a shame there for Niksa, who definitely probably should have had a bit more than just one guy with a Panzerschreck. And that is currently what WohTiger is definitely taking advantage of, partly because, again, Niksa was never able to fully, really take advantage of his armoured cars. He was a bit more passive, and that, to a certain extent, rather largely describes Niksa's play. It is passive. It is more reactive than active, and it's definitely what is giving, WohTiger time to get back. But so WohTiger's game is the same time is also a bit passive. I mean, it seems like both players are never really, comfortable, really attacking. They seem a bit, shy. No, you attack. No, you attack. No, I don't feel comfortable doing this. Then why are we playing this? I don't know. Let's go play The Sims. Yes, that's much more fun. I know. Sorry to be offending them. Not really meaning the suggestion that they might be sort of those types of players, but again, there's a certain lack of aggression, a lack of a daring going on here from the two players. And it's a bit curious, to be honest. We do see the grenades moving up. We finally see some veterancy for Niksa's Infanterie. We do see the Rapier coming under fire, and we do see them running off. And of course, the difference between a Panzergrenadier Division and a Panzer Division largely comes down to basically a certain allotment of equipment and number of regiments. That is, a Panzer Division would have one Panzer regiment. A Panzergrenadier Division would only have a battalion, not a full regiment. At the same time, a Panzer Division would have 2 battalions. A Panzergrenadier Division usually had 3, although again, as the war progressed, both sides saw bits falling in that. Other bits usually meant that they only see trucks in a Panzergrenadier Division, whereas in the Panzer Division they usually have access to half-tracks. Of course, there are always going to be exceptions to that rule. For example, the Großdeutschland was very much an exception in every way for a Panzergrenadier unit. Was largely equipped. Even some Panzer divisions could only look on in envy, but also some other divisions would usually see armoured half-tracks for some reason, either because they'd absorbed some other unit which had them, or in some cases because they were considered elite and thus had access to better equipment. The 11th SS Panzergrenadier Division Nordland, for example, had, each regiment, I think, had each own a battalion of half-tracks, which was quite rare. And also had a full battalion of Panthers. And even then, for the Panzergrenadier Division tracks, you have tanks, was also rare. They usually only had assault guns. But it's really going down here near the pack, or the largely called in on the bunker there. We do see the medics getting blown to bits, the bunker's concrete falling off in huge chunks. Rather holding up here, nice positioning. We do see the tank destroyers rolling in, and there's very little stop them. The pack itself has been not perhaps very wisely positioned. We do see the armoured car likely going to pay the price for that. The Grenadiers holding up where they can. And we do finally see a Sturmgeschütz coming out for Niksa. The Sturmgeschützwehr. And there we go. Wolverine takes a nice hit in the rear from the pack. And the pack then proceeds to hit the fence. Less impressive. Right here, though, pinned down, and we do see that WohTiger's infantry quickly gets out of the barracks and makes a straight charge at the Stug. And we also see them overwhelmed right here, and there was only one Grenadier squad, and we do see it getting overwhelmed. We see the pack risking to get overwhelmed. That could definitely open up for full assault with the tank destroyers. And there we go, Stiggy Bomb. Another pack out. This is a complete mess for Niksa, and it is time for the mid-game analysis. Counter-situation, Niksa again has been rather contained for a large part of the game. Partly due again to what I think is a lack of aggression in him. He seems a bit timid, a bit unsure in himself what to do, and he's in some cases rather thrown away otherwise excellent chances to really get an advantage against WohTiger. At the same time, WohTiger's also been a bit cautious again. He's floating 1,400 manpower and 130 fuel. This is definitely not alright. But at the same time, he's still managing to hold quite a nice bit against the map of, or quite a nice bit of the map against Niksa. So clearly he's doing something right. He could get more riflemen, he could get a Sherman, he could get more tank destroyers. All of those things will work quite nicely. But for Niksa to sort of really break through, he needs to be aggressive, he needs to go on the offensive, he needs to, be a bit daring, he needs to shoot up some Yankees, he needs to also lay down some mines, and he needs some more Stugs, he needs some veterancy, both infantry and the armor, and he needs it now, if not tomorrow. Oh, yesterday, as it's more set, that is, you should have had it in the first place. But there you go. I mean, these are sort of the things here. He definitely should consider trying pushing up here, which might make it more difficult for Niksa to move about. It would allow him to control the center, and thus also the areas right here and here, if well covered with packs. And on the other hand, for WohTiger, the question is to continue to keep Niksa contained within this area, perhaps even taking this victory point. But let us return to the fight. The Riflemen are on full retreat. Oh, another squad lost to a mine. Nasty stuff that. The armoured car is still there. First pack moves out, but again, heavy losses have been inflicted on Niksa. He needs to do something to rather counter this, and again, he needs to be aggressive again. He's just sent his opponent running, but there's not really much, advancing out to at least try and take some territory away. Again, he's incredibly cautious, he's incredibly worried, and that, in fact, is working against him. Of course, you should always be cautious, but never at the risk of actually achieving nothing. And again, that's currently what seems to be happening with Niksa. He's being so cautious that he's actually failing to make any gains after he just threw back his opponent and killed a rifleman squad. And also, we now do see a howitzer going up for Tiger. And also note, he's actually laying down mines. He's probably worried, of course, against any rushes against it, and thus he's laying down a mine belt around it. Very clever, very, foresighted. And we now see Blitzkrieg being chosen for Niksa. Actually, a bit late for that. Choose Doctrine. Oh, lucky hit directly there into Dixon until he catches the Stu-42 out in the open. We do see veterancy up there. Tank destroyers pushed away, but there's nothing protecting the anti-tank right there except an armoured car. And a unit goes down. Tragic losses. Stu-42 advances. Pack forced away. Stu-42 fires straight into a work barracks, blowing away part of the side. Artillery going down here on the huge concentration of infantry. And we do get out of there, Niksa. Something. Fultzka is almost getting wiped out. Grenadiers retreating now, full retreat. As they're getting blasted, the occupants dying in droves. And there we go. The half-living squad gets out of there, but just barely. And never mind that the whole cautious thing also means that Niksa apparently has a tendency of bunching his troops together, meaning they're going to be an easy target for the artillery. That's definitely not helping again him either. Now, at this stage, you ought to be aware, of course, he's seen the artillery before, that Tiger had gone infantry, thus wouldn't we have artillery, and thus it might be an idea to spread out your infantry just a wee bit so they don't become easy targets, or for that matter, just artillery target practice. But a Stug and an armoured car, securing the centre up there, just a suggestion, although he might want to keep a pack right behind here again. Partly because of the angle there, of course, will protect from here, but also against artillery. More troops retreating here as artillery once more goes in from WohTiger. He seems to think this is a good interdiction area, and thus, of course, will keep shelling it in the hopes of catching something. Rather than pushing up the farwards flank, but there's not much holding, although we do see the MG-42 up there. Rather than advancing, veteran chooses the armor car, has to be careful, could get sticky bomb. There we go. Rather than squad suppressed, and there we go. The tank destroyers on the move. Stu-42 takes heavy damage, and there was nothing covering the pack. Oh dear. And there's only one pack left for Niksa at the moment, and that's going to get cleared out soon. Tank destroyer lost. Quite the armoured car lost. Quite the waste right there. We do see Fultz guns moving up, but at the same time the pack has been rendered inoperable since the crew is quite cooked. And there we go, engineers dead. And if only those packs had been slightly better cut, I believe that WohTiger might have suffered some heavy losses. Instead, he suffered a bit of infantry losses, but he did not lose a single tank destroyer, meaning he can continue to add more tank destroyers and reach possibly critical mass. And now we do see Sherman out for WohTiger, adding a bit of armor. Although it looks like an engineer squad went down, the flamethrower tank burst open in flames, enveloping the entire squad in a localized inferno. Then it is advancing up, and there we go. Nice hit from the Sherman. High explosive round clears out the lead man. Pack here has been recruited by false grenadiers, and we do see that being turned around, holding on to the victory points for dear life. Niksa, though, is in trouble, and we do see veterans too now on the way for the armor. And at the very same moment, his Stug takes a direct hit from artillery because it had been placed too close to the MG-42. And now the MG-42 is dead. Niksa continues to suffer horribly, and he's very much low on units compared to WohTiger. And there we go, the advance of the Sherman straight against the Grenadiers, who have very little chance of really stopping it now. Although they can do a bit of damage. But there we go, on the run from WohTiger's gun. Repairing the tank destroyers. Nicely done there. Victory point in the center falling. Stu advancing. Grenadiers and some unfortunate pioneers falling up there. Forced to recruit the pack despite having seen better days. The crew that is. And there we go, Rifleman. Very close to the Stu-42. The Stu-42 risk actually getting sticky bombed. And there we go. Meaning it's going to be an easy target. The pack here not very well placed, by the way. Why do I say that? Because there's a building in the way. MG-40 has not been recruited. And for some reason, the guy guarding the pack is actually firing away, revealing the pack. Gott im Himmel, Franz. You never were the smart one. And there we go, though. Sherman revealed. Pack fires away. Grenadiers are going to move up, see if they can't get a pancake. But a nice grenade right in front forces the Grenadiers to pull back, giving the Sherman time to retreat. Nicely done there by WohTiger. More riflemen moving up. The MG not recruit, but there's the full Stu-42 firing away with high explosive rounds. And it's MG. Rifleman holding up in the outskirts of this area. Oh, nice hit on the rifleman. 3 riflemen dead in one blast, and the rest advancing up right in front of the MG from the Stu-42. The Stu-42 raking up the kills, taking names, and not really caring about them. And we are seeing 4 tank destroyers up. That is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Something that is going to give Niksa quite a headache when it hits him. And a stormtrooper squad has been summoned. Panzergrenadier being equipped. Riflemen moving in from the north. Volksgrenadiers is equipped with 1 BAR, doing what they can, but the Rifleman veterans did 2. And the Volksgrenadiers are certainly not even in that, which would have granted them a slight advantage. Benefit, but overall not much against veteran 2 riflemen. But there we go, 2 assault guns, 1 Stu-4 and 1 Stu-42 blasting away. Riflemen are taking losses, but they continue to take the fuel point. Artillery going in support. Not looking good for Niksa and the 3rd Panzergrenadiers. And looks like we might be seeing the armored assault going in from WohTiger very soon. He's joining up the Sherman with the tank destroyers. That is definitely going to be one hell of a push. And there we go, Stug taking hits. The artillery kills the gunner. Grenadiers are moving up, but overall this is not a good scene for Niksa. A bit of shifting going on there. Oh, nice hit from the Stu-42. Immediately ends the life of 4 riflemen in a brutal fashion. Forcing the rest running, and there we go. The assault has commenced. Stormtroopers were spotted, hit a mine. Pack firing away, but that's definitely going to get overwhelmed. The pioneers already low on health. And again, the buildings are a problem because again they can just drive around the pack. I mean, this is definitely a bad move, I would say, from Niksa, considering how he plays some Stormtroopers doing what they can. Stu-4 far removed as well. Tank destroyer taking a hit there, although it looks like 1 tank destroyer was lost. And there we go, the rest moving on, hitting the mine. A damaged engine on the lead tank destroyer, the other one still able to go on. Stormtroopers quickly getting in. Orbital Blitz getting wrecked. Grenadiers arriving, and looks like the Stormtroopers are retreating. Grenadiers quickly running into the larger part of the factory, and Panzergrenadier finishes off another tank destroyer down to 2. He's certainly done some damage right here. And overall looks like the tank destroyers did not succeed in actually crippling Niksa. But we are seeing artillery going in, possibly to support and protect the tank destroyers. He could try and get the slower one, the wounded one. Oh, another tank destroyer out of control. Rifleman pushing up there in the force, but there's now nothing protecting them. In fact, the MG-42 and the pack are exposed. Grenadiers in its retreat. Come on, Niksa. Rückzug. Save your Grenadiers. Oh, the Panzergrenadier sets off the mine. killing 2 of the engineers, suppressing the last one, allowing the grenadiers to escape. But the riflemen continue up here. The assault guns are moving in. I think the Stu-42 though should retreat to the left side with some infantry while the... Oh, more tank destroyers out now. The Stu could go down. There we go. Tank destroyer out of control. Where are the grenadiers? Support. Stormtroopers are ready, but there we go. Pack is getting assaulted, and the MD-42 is all out in the open. Assault guns are pulling away. We could see the Stu though going down, and there we go. Tank destroyer scores a kill. Definitely a brutal engagement right there in the center, and certainly perhaps not quite going as WohTiger extended, since he just lost a lot of tank destroyers just for the sake of getting one Stug for the moment, possibly a Stu. And Tiger arrives. MD-42 though has been recruited. He could also try and steal the pack. Grenades going into the house, killing 2 stormtroopers outright, but the Tiger arrives. The tank destroyers are definitely in trouble. Stu-42 gets off a hit, but that does nothing. Artillery called in on the mighty lumbering Tiger, but the Tiger just continues shrugging off the artillery. Oh dear. Oh, that looks like it's soon down to half health, and there we go. Tank destroyer gone. Artillery raining down upon Niksa's base like insults at a poor stand-up comedy show. And there we go. Tiger gets a few more rifles, but already now its engine is damaged and overall heavily damaged. But let's return to WohTiger. WohTiger definitely largely seems to be spending things, although now he's suffered some losses. In fact, again, the losses that Niksa has inflicted has in fact drained WohTiger of quite a few resources, but he's still, overall in charge. He's got a veteran 2 out, he's got some riflemen. 1 Sherman though. 1 Sherman. Question is, can Niksa actually get anything out of this as points are ticking down? He's down to 88 points. Grenade goes off for the force because they do manage to get out of it, but nonetheless, low on health. Blitzkrieg assault going in, a desperate attempt from Niksa to throw back WohTiger's infantry. And fighting going on there. MD-42 stolen from the Germans, suppressing the stormtroopers and killing them. Sherman quickly pushes off, and we do see the Grenadiers quick retreating after that. Stu-42 pulls up. Tiger getting repaired. However, shall it work out? Niksa clearly looks like he will be needing more pioneers, and there we go. The engineers going for the victory point over there, right in front of the MD-42. Already 1 man dead. The rest could quickly soon fall up if they don't get out of there. And there we go.
We have territory cut off from supply.
And more artillery. Right towards there. Oh, false grenades could go down there, coming under fire from a 30 caliber water-cooled Browning. Yeah. And the fail factory is now occupied by the MD-42 crew. Tiger continues to be repaired, but will need more. Either that or a repair bunker could also prove beneficial for Niksa at this stage. And there we go. The Sherman has been sent in to clear up the barrel factory of any German occupants, refusing to let go of the barrels and the promise of beer eventually being in them. So that is the right side open up. Looks like the MD-42 will be running the gauntlet of riflemen and might actually go. Oh, the riflemen were able to secure a Panzergrenadier. That's definitely a nightmare for Niksa right there. Another Stug rolling out. And there we go. They are on the move. What remains of Niksa's infantry following up on the advance of the Sturmgeschütz. MG's right there running into trouble. And riflemen taking heavy losses. Yeah, the MG-42 though actually holds its ground in the face of all these assault guns, but all 3 victory points are currently being held by WohTiger. The points are ticking down for Niksa, and we are soon down, in fact now to 50 victory points.
We are winning this battle.
Observation posts, in fact he's got, how many observation posts now?
They're hitting one of our forward emplacements. trying to take
two by the looks of it, but overall securing him an awful lot of munitions in conjunction with all the other munitions points he's holding. Sherman here gets assaulted by the two assault guns. Might get flanked. Sherman, though, doing quite nicely here, but of course there's the stormtroopers in the nearby house with Panzergrenadier. And there we go. Two rockets hit the rear of the Sherman, causing quite a bit of catastrophic damage. Engineers, though, might occupy the house.
Trying to take our territory.
Niksa is pushing out on all fronts. WohTiger very much on his own. Fine repair, though it's quickly sticky button and will be probably suffering from a damaged engine. Yes, indeed.
Front lines are collapsing.
And the stormtroopers themselves pushed away. The Stu-42 advancing. Pack recruit by Americans going to turn against their former German masters. An absolute mess right there for Niksa. As the victory points continue to drain down.
Infantry squad reporting.
And the pack gets decrewed. Heavy fire from the Stu-42. Tiger advances rather than getting moved down. Full screen is moving in. To a mine, perhaps. Yes, the mine sets off. Only one full screen down left. Heinz holding on to the victory point as 30 caliber rounds fly against him. And he dies. Oh, dear. At the same time, we do see a rifleman squad moving up there. Only a single grenadier can protect it. He assaults it, flinging insults and grenades at the rifleman, hoping to get them from stopping taking it, but it does not work. The rifleman continues. Oh, no. And the grenadier dies. His insults were not enough, and there we go. GG. Niksa has lost. And overall, the problem partly came down to sort of his beginning, which I think might have been a slightly disadvantageous one right here on this type of map. But at the same time, he could not decide what he wanted to hold, where he wanted to focus. He kept running about, a bit confused, which did not help him. It allowed WohTiger to move in more easily and do damage. And ultimately, there were several times when Niksa had some sort of advantage, but he then failed to capitalize on, giving WohTiger ample time to get back on the field. But at the same time, that sort of flaw WohTiger did, and partly also did because he floated a ton of resources. Definitely should not have been happening. So I mean, that was a bit of a sin on both sides of this passiveness, a bit too much reactiveness. But ultimately, again, the WohTiger had the advantage because Niksa was just a bit more unfocused and a bit more passive than WohTiger. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.